Bell rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Good morning, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model daily briefing for Thursday the 29th of the 7th 2021. Time is 0440, 20 to 5 in the morning GMT. Asian session coming to close, European session firing up, our lunchtime, North American session. Right, yesterday, Wednesday the 28th, then we had a negative opposed driver in the yen at minus 101. Front and back door flows mainly going into the euro at plus 81, into the pound at plus 57, and the dollar was a negative rock at minus 37, activity plus or minus 138. Intra-week then becoming more relevant. This is from Monday the 26th open to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a negative driver, opposed driver in the dollar at minus 315. Front and back door flows mainly going into the pound at plus 292, into the euro at plus 46, and the yen is a negative rock at minus 23. Activity plus or minus 338. Right. So over the week then we've had dollar weakness driving. And the opposing positive flows are mainly going into the pound, a little bit into the euro, and the yen's a little bit soft off the back of the equity transmission. Right, so intraday then, this is from Thursday the 29th, open to about 15 minutes ago. It's the Asian session. Negative opposed driver in the dollar at minus 45. Front and back door flows mainly going into the pound at plus 43, into the yen at plus 5. And the euro is a negative rock at minus 3, activity plus or minus 48. What's going to knock it about? Right, so let's have a look. German tier 2 unemployment data out today. German CPI and US GDP. On Friday, tomorrow the 30th, we've got US GDP for today. And we've got German GDP tomorrow, and Eurozone CPI. And Saturday, just looking into the weekend, we've got China non-manufacturing and manufacturing PMI. Excuse me. Right. So let's have a look at the flows in the Asian session and the asset classes. Our trades have improved considerably over the last few days. And we'll talk about that in a bit. Let's have a look. So we've got the euro. The euro is weak, except against the dollar and the CAD. Sorry, the AUD, which are weaker. The yen is weak, except against the dollar and the AUD. The pound is strong across the board. The Swiss is strong except against the pound, the CAD and the NZD. The CAD is strong except against the pound. The AUD is weak across the board. The NZD is strong except against the pound and the CAD, and the dollar is weak except against the AUD. Right, so we've got, what have we got? We've got pound strength in the Asian session to the exclusion of all else, and AUD weakness, and take your pick in the middle. Right, so let's have a look at the asset classes. So we'll start with the US dollar index as usual. So let's have a look at that then. US dollar index. What have we got? We've got this sort of like arrangement. It broke and it's come back, and it's about 0.31 from the modelled high. So the dollar was pretty strong. It's come back roughly a third. as we anticipated. Gold should be liking this, and it is to a limited degree. It's 0.41 off the high. It's not liking it that much, but it's holding the line. And oil had that big ramp up, it came back, and it's now 0.30 from the high, roughly a third from the high. Wall Street had that basically a treble top, and it's just sub highs now. S&P broke, it's come back a little bit. Tech likewise broke, come back a little bit. US 10-year, this is the price of the bond, remember, so it broke in terms of price, so yields came off. It's now come back a little bit. It's 0.23 from the high. So the price went up, yields came off, and we're now getting a little bit of increasing yields as we go at the moment. And the bund, what we got on the bund? The bund basically broke and is at or near the highs. Excuse me again. Right. So yield terms, relatively speaking, the bund is a little bit softer than the US 10-year, but there's not much in it. Right. So copper, if you remember, had that big break. And it's now where are we? It's now come back. It's 0.30 from the high. So it's come off about a third from the peak. And US steel, which has been pretty soft, has come back, and it's 0.43 from the floor. So an improvement in US steel, but it's still soft. Right, so let's just finish off then. So let's get rid of this. As we say, our trades have improved off the back of a weakening dollar, a weakening NZD, and a strengthening pound, basically, and that's where we are. So right. So what's going to happen? If you look at the majors, then you've got the dollar, the euro, the yen, and the pound. We've just had the FOMC yesterday. Basically, they're quite sort of neutral to dovish, and the dollar's basically sort of started to come off, and we expect it to continue to come off. It may not come off in a straight line, but it's likely to soften. So equities I've just had a little pause. It's likely the Chinese equities, people ran away from them when they started getting the stick out, and then the Chinese authorities capitulated basically and started being nicey again. And there's been a little bit of a recurrence of purchasing of Chinese stocks, but people are going to be very wary of the Chinese authorities. Anyway, but they're trying to keep it up. Likewise, we think equities are going to carry on improving. So you're going to get a yen transmission, which is likely to be soft. And if you've got flows out of the dollar and the yen, they've got to go into somewhere. They're going to go into the euro and the pound. So this is going to be positive, and this is going to be positive. And the euro will get backdoor flows, and the pound will get front door. So back. So that's basically. And if you look at the AUD is soft in the Asian session. They might want to have a little go at selling the AUD today, a little bit, but it's going to be short-lived. So it's going to be temporary, and then we're going to have a much bigger thrust up. So the NZD might get a bit of temporary purchase, but we're not going to be going long NZD, that's for sure. So I hope that was useful to you. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.